everybody, Jason here of GhostbustersNews.com, and as always, Ghostbusters News right here on YouTube. And over the past couple days, or maybe it's been 3 or 4 days, I don't know, I've lost count. I have been sent via message, email, tagged in social media posts, news about a brand new Ghostbusters television show that is apparently in the works. And that's really exciting, right? Well, yeah, I mean, it could be. Now, before I go any further, if you were one of those fellow fans that sent me the article, I want to thank you for that. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the article, you're trying to keep me informed. I appreciate it. That being said, though, this website that had this big, grand-scale Ghostbusters exclusive, once again, apparently a brand new television series is in the works. I don't really buy it. I don't buy it. And it's not that I don't buy the fact that there is a Ghostbusters television series in the works. I think that is a certain, almost definite possibility. It's likely happening right now. But I think the actual posting the article and inside sources and exclusive, that I think is all nonsense. I'm sorry, I think it is. But you could be saying, Jason, this website, they've broken great news stories in the past. You know, they've had exclusives that have turned out to be true. Exclusives like Netflix agreeing to season 2 of Squid Games, because that wasn't obvious. Now let me just lay this out there. Ghostbusters Afterlife, it is a success. It turned a profit at the box office. And since being released on digital, in DVD, Blu-ray, it has been taking home top honors. It has been taking home the top spot on so many charts. Sony Pictures, Ghost Corps, they've acknowledged it. Ghostbusters Afterlife, it is a success. Thank you, Gozer. I mean that it is such a success, you know that they're looking at other projects. They're looking at the next Ghostbusters. If it's Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, great. If it's not, I don't know what they're gonna do, but there's gonna be another movie eventually down the road. And it's safe to say that we're not gonna have to wait 20, 30 plus years for us to get the next installment. On top of that too, it's really not unlikely to think that they're actually going to be looking at a television show. I mean, the original Ghostbusters movie, it had the real Ghostbusters animated series attached to it, right? And they got to be looking at other properties, other IPs, like the 80s nostalgia punch that is Stranger Things. I mean, heck, Ghostbusters Afterlife, it stars Finn Wolfhard. There is no doubt Sony and Ghost Corps and everything, they're looking at the possibility of making a Ghostbusters television series. I mean, that seems obvious. But what I'm saying is that article, it's got a nice, catchy title, you know, exclusive, new Ghostbusters television series is in the works. But that's all it has. There's actually no substance to the article whatsoever. You read the title, and that's all the information that really it has. And once again, that information is questionable. Did it really come from like an actual source, or are they just stating the obvious? And right now, there's a huge reason to state the obvious, because with the release of Ghostbusters Afterlife right now on Blu-ray and 4K, a lot of people are actually Googling, you know, Ghostbusters there. This website, this article appeared, that's actually appearing in Google News. It's one of the top searches right now on Google when it comes to Ghostbusters. This article is making this website a ton of money. So why not state the obvious and once again, make just a huge boatload of money? Now going back to this article, this inside source, it was not able to provide any details at all about the show. I think I've already said that. I mean, it says a few details are known. Okay, so few details. What's the details? There's no details known. The article then goes on to talk about how this new apparent series is going to talk about the cultural significance of the Ghostbusters. Because, you know, in Ghostbusters 2, it kind of restarts, right? Like, a lot of people don't believe the happenings of the first movie. The Ghostbusters are kind of cast as frauds. I mean, in Afterlife, it's kind of the same thing, too. Aside from Paul Rudd's character, nobody really believes, you know, the events of 1984. Or 1989, Ghostbusters 2. It happened in the Ghostbusters Afterlife universe and canon. And of course, Ghostbusters Answer the Call, the 2016 reboot, they actually didn't acknowledge anything. They were, once again, they were a reboot, so they were starting fresh. So you're telling me an episodic TV show about the Ghostbusters are gonna have to acknowledge the Ghostbusters and the cultural significance of them. Once again, that's pretty obvious because you're not gonna have a 20-year, 30-year gap between the episodes. People are gonna know the Ghostbusters exist. They're gonna have to realize this. Now, to the article's credit, they do mention the whole cultural significance of Ghostbusters is all conjecture. So I can't be mad about that, really, but why even put it in there? But this article, this news story, it was posted for one reason and one reason alone. That was to get eyes on this website, to get them hits, to get them ad revenue. That's it. That's all. I don't think, honestly, they were breaking a news story whatsoever. They were just posting fluff to get some money. I mean, I can't blame them. This morning on Ghostbusters News, I posted 5-year-old expired ecto-cooler images. Like, I should be held accountable too for nonsense like this. Heck, I even made a video about the ecto-cooler. It's up here on the Ghostbusters News YouTube channel. You should watch it, you know? Ad revenue. I also want to point out that their last article about Ghostbusters was an article from 2 weeks ago, and it was entitled Ghostbusters Afterlife 2, all about the sequel. The sequel that has not been announced, and nothing is official. They have a full article about this. Listen, Ghostbusters is what we do. Ghostbusters is what I do. I've pretty much dedicated so much of my life to the Ghostbusters brand. I mean, I've turned it into a living, and it absolutely angers me to no end to see a fluff article piece like this up on Google News, like one of the top Google News articles, and it's just, it lacks any actual merit. It's one of these I heard from a friend of a friend type articles. Now look, I'm not going to act like what I post on Ghostbusters News is like top of the line news quality, because it's not always. I'm not trained at all in reporting the news. I'm not trained in making videos. I've never attended any type of social media class or anything like that. I'm all self-taught. I know I do things incorrectly, but I comb the internet looking for Ghostbusters News so I can bring it all to you guys. Do I have some inside sources here and there? Okay, maybe. But I ask every single one of you out there, if you see a website post an article like this, just go onto Google, post the website name, and afterwards, just, type in reliability. See what people have to say about it. Maybe go on Reddit and just, once again, type that website's name in and just see what fellow fans have to say about that website. There is no doubt that big Ghostbusters happenings, they are on the horizon. Is a brand new television show from Ghost Corps in the works? Well, there's a really good chance of that. I mean, once again, given the success of Ghostbusters Afterlife, and like I said, the success of shows like Stranger Things, it could certainly happen. But to report on it without any news whatsoever, really, I mean, that is just stating the obvious. If I posted this same article on GhostbustersNews.com, I really have a 50-50 shot here. Either yes or no. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? I don't know. There is a good chance of it. And if they pull that trigger, I can be like, you know what? My exclusive source, it's been, it got confirmed. It happened. Trust me. Going forward, trust me. Is there likely a show in the works? Probably. Is there a new movie in the works? More than likely. But until Sony Pictures or Ghost Corps or a credible website like The Hollywood Reporter or Variety or GhostbustersNews.com, they report on it, don't get too excited. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I do believe there is going to be some pretty huge announcements incoming, and I'm not discrediting and saying, oh, there's not going to be a Ghostbusters TV show, because it could happen. I don't want anybody coming back to this video if they greenlight a show and be like, Jason, you were wrong, because I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying this article on the internet shouldn't exist, at least at this point, in the manner that it does. Now, before we end off this video, I want to know from you guys down below in the comment section, what would you like to see next within the Ghostbusters license, within the franchise? Would you like to see a live action television show? Would you like to see an animated television show? Or would you like to see another Ghostbusters movie? Or, maybe more news on that apparent video game. That would be nice to hear about, right? So once again, guys, try not to get too excited. Patience is the key here. And with that, I think that's all I gotta say here. As always, be sure to subscribe to Ghostbusters News here on YouTube. Bust that bell notification icon to stay up to date with everything that's happening within the Ghostbusters world. If you'd like to join up with Ghostbusters News, check out our Patreon page. We have a link to that down below in this video's description. And I'll see everybody right back here next time.